Across the many sci-fi universes, at least from more famous ones from games, TV shows and movies, there have always been a fascination about size of ships, fighter crafts and stations. For example, the Death Star of Star Wars has been touted as one of the most iconic space stations slash megastructures in fiction, measuring 160 kilometers in diameter, which is equal to halfway the distance between New York and Washington DC. But this massive thing pales in comparison to other megastructures from franchises like Halo, Star Trek, Warhammer and others. So here in this video we will make a list of the 10 biggest megastructures from Star Trek, Star Wars, 40K, Halo and Independence Day. So let's get to it. At number 10 we have the Borg Unicomplex from Star Trek. So the Unicomplex was an immense Borg structure composed of thousands of interconnected buildings and hubs spanning at least 600 kilometers. It accommodated hundreds of Borg cubes and trillions of drones. Although it remains uncertain if multiple Unicomplexes exist, but in the episode Unimatrix Zero Part 2 of Star Trek, Voyager, the Borg drone, Oxum suggested that independent drones target the primary Unicomplex, hinting at the presence of others, possibly smaller Unicomplexes. This Unicomplex was depicted as a vast network of interconnected modules, grids, and a sprawling metropolis in space. Number 9. Star Wars, the Starkiller Base. So the only significant entry from Star Wars is the Starkiller Base, the largest megastructure in the franchise. Unlike other structures such as the Corellian system, which are normal planets transported into an artificially manipulated star system by the Celestials, the Starkiller Base stands out as the biggest constructed one, with a diameter 4 times that of the Death Star, measuring 660 kilometers wide. The First Order, viewing themselves as successors to the Galactic Empire's ideas, transformed the planet into their base of operations due to its unique energy-transmitting crystalline deposits. This base houses a super weapon capable of destroying entire star systems by consuming suns as its power source, with truly gigantic rocket pods for its mobility. Number 8. The Harvester Mothership from Independence Day Resurgence. The Harvester Mothership is a massive spaceship designed for stripping planets of their natural resources. The mothership is fast for its size and can travel from Saturn to Earth in just one day. It possesses powerful energy cannons that can be arrayed into multiple beams for both offense and defense. This ship resembles a massive disc like the City Destroyers, but size-wise it is much larger than even the first mothership that attacked in 1996. This one has a diameter of almost 5,000 kilometers. The interior of it is vast, resembling a gigantic mechanical-like cave containing what is essentially the alien civilization, including military, social structures, transportation, communications hubs, and extensive agricultural fields. All in all, it's a world on its own. Number 7. The Necron World Engine from Warhammer 40K. So the 40K World Engine is a massive mobile artificial tomb world of the Necrons of the Neo-Kharis dynasty, known to them as Borses. It was discovered by the Imperium of Man in the Vidar sector in 926 of M41. After awakening from the Great Sleep, the Necrons on Borses presented a significant threat with their planet-sized weapon, armed with deadly gauze projectors capable of annihilating all life on a planet's surface. It took over 100 hours of intense combat by the Astral Knight Space Marine chapter to reach a command module and destroy the tomb complex that controlled the world engine's defenses with a nuclear equivalent melter charge. But even this was just to disable the vessel's void shields and weaponry, therefore allowing the Imperial Navy to destroy the world engine with cyclonic torpedoes, which are weapons meant to crack down the core of worlds and destabilize the planetary structure. At number 6 we have the Lesser and Greater Arcs of Halo. So Installation 00, also known as the Arc, is a Forerunner structure capable of activating the entire Halo array in the universe of Halo. It also serves as a safe haven from the Halo array's pulse and a facility for constructing replacement halos if needed. Located outside the galaxy approximately 262,000 light-years from the galactic center, the Ark was originally one of 2 such installations, the other being the older, much larger Greater Ark. To distinguish between the two, Installation 00 was referred to as the Lesser Ark. The Greater Ark's foundry produced the original rings, each 30,000 kilometers in diameter, while Installation 00 foundry produced 10,000 kilometer wide rings. The Lesser Ark itself is stated to be 127,530 kilometers wide, suggesting that the Greater Ark could be at least 3 times larger. At number 5 we have the Dyson Sphere from Star Trek. A Dyson sphere is a construct built enclosing a stellar body, meaning a star, with the benefit or intention of harnessing the entire energy output of that star. The expansive distances required to make this structure allows for a very large surface area, which, if properly designed, can be capable of supporting life. In the Star Trek universe, the concept of a Dyson sphere was featured in Relics. In this episode, the crew of the USS Enterprise D encounters one such megastructure with a diameter of 200 million kilometers. There were other spheres described later on in other Star Trek works like Unity and Freedom. Such a structure, such as this one from Relics, was a Dyson sphere that would have an internal surface many times the size of all the 24th century Federation planets combined. Number 4. The Sarcophagus from Halo. Sarcophagus is a massive Forerunner shield wall in the Zeta Doradus system in the Halo universe. Sarcophagus is a Dyson shell, similar to a Dyson sphere. It is a massive artificial structure encircling a star. At approximately 2 astronomical units or 300 million kilometers in diameter and weighing approximately 1.37 solar masses, this sphere is by far the largest known megastructure created by the Forerunners. According to Dr. Catherine Halsey's calculations, the internal surface area of that sphere is approximately 500 million times the surface area of the Earth, or around 255 quadrillion square kilometers. Sarcophagus was constructed as a part of the Didax shield wall defense plan before the Forerunner Flood War. At number 3, we have the Ruined Storm Fortress from Warhammer 40k. So from Warhammer, one of the largest ever described megastructures belonged to the forces of Chaos, and this was seen in the story of the Harrowing of Piran. The Chaos Fortress that emerged from the Warp Storm filled the entirety of the frame or the visual aspect of the Imperial forces, for they could only see the battlements. There was also nothing to give the structure scale, but at one point of time the Primarch of the Dark Angels, the Lion L. Johnson, grasped its full monstrosity. This Chaos Fortress spanned an entire star system. Its walls was tens of millions of miles high. It was also billions of miles long, and though the proximity to the fleet was lethal, it was still millions of kilometers away, or miles away in every direction. The fleets were caught in its gravitational well, which was more massive than any Stark encountered. The entire fleet, filled with ships multiple kilometers long, were but minute minuscule specks of dust blown at a mountainside, in comparison. At number 2, we have the V'ger from Star Trek. Although the core of it all is a sentient artificial life form with a length of around 100 kilometers, it can however create an ever-moving and reactive energy cloud that far surpasses the size of the previous entry. In the original theatrical release of Star Trek the Motion Picture, the V'ger energy cloud is given a size measurement of 82 AU in diameter, or astronomical units. This means that the measurement is equivalent to 12.27 billion kilometers or 0.001 light years across. If we place V'ger at the same central position as the Sun, this would mean that the energy cloud would extend far beyond the Kuiper belt, extending to the orbit of Eris, a dwarf planet, and essentially swallowing our entire solar system. The later re-release Director's Edition drastically scaled it down to 2 astronomical units, which is the distance between the Sun and a point between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter, but we shall take in the original measurement as the entry to this list. And number 1, of course, the webway from Warhammer 40k. So this one was built by the old ones to function as both an intergalactic expressway and an oasis from both the warp and rail space. It is a maze-like structure because it is constantly rebuilding itself, and it is large enough to host several planets inside of it. Its actual size can be classified as more of a galactic scale. Hell, inside of it, there's a realm called Comora, which is a component of the webway, and it is inhabited by the Dark Eldar. This one has merged together with something else to form a dimensional ecumenopolis. So large is this place of Comora that the Dark Eldar steal several stars just to illuminate and power the place. That means that its size alone is large enough to rival several star systems. Now if we look at the webway as a whole, it connects different parts of rail space across the galaxy, and this tells you about its grand scale. It is galactic. And so those are the 10 biggest megastructures from Halo, Star Wars, Star Trek, Warhammer, and of course from Independence Day. So if you like this video, then watch this other one as well. And if you want to browse for other sci-fi and Warhammer content, then check out our channel. So subscribe and like for support. And yeah, while you're at it, bang on that bell icon as well for notifications on new video uploads. Till the next time, take care, boys.